It should be noted that currently we use computer-synthesized voices for the main cast.
We plan to replace them with real voice work at some point in the near future.
If you don't like these voices, you can disable them now or at any time in the sound options menu.
Element 126, resin, res. It was the answer to everything. A transmutable element with the power to unlock the secrets of the universe. It gifted humanity everything there was to know about space-time, and how to enslave it. Res triggered an explosion of technological advancement. Mankind spread to the far reaches of the galaxy, growing exponentially in numbers, along with the reliance on res. The United Terran Alliance was founded to control the countless population. Eventually they sought to ration the use of res. As res supplies thinned, conflict arose. An epidemic of fortune-seeking miners forced their way to the galactic core, where resin was most abundant. Eventually the primary res source was discovered. All res stemmed from a sinister and timeless energy being. A being awakened by the use of res. They had sprung an ancient and recursive trap, res being the bait no budding civilization could possibly ignore. Corruption spilled outward into the stars, twisting the biological matrix of all it touched, integrating it into machines. Mankind's own technology, their own dead, had begun to turn against them. For years they struggled to survive against a flood of abominated metal and flesh. Billions were lost to the infection, only further feeding the expanding corruption. In spite of hopeless obliteration, the very fabric of life itself arose to fight the dark entity. As a race, humanity came together for a single purpose. In some twisted way, they had found peace. Peace, however, does not last. People fell back into their self-minded ways. Humanity turned inward in a scramble for the remaining res, which now could no longer be renewed. As the UTA lost its control over the galaxy, they collapsed the entire warp gate network, beyond any hope of salvage. Human ingenuity, it turns out, knows no captivity. Out of need, a resin-based drive was developed, allowing more direct travel anywhere in the galaxy. The void was reborn as the wild, untapped, and lawless frontier. As years pass, piracy and skirmish battles rage, precious res the prize. Raw worlds are recklessly colonized and disputed by legions of makeshift starships. An entire ecology of nomadic drifters emerged, endlessly recycling the wrecks of constant war. All the while, the nearly forgotten saviors of the galaxy tirelessly struggle to exterminate the last remnants of the infection.
Sigh. It seems like yet again you dimwits have flown my ship headlong into an infested region. That is the third time this week. 6 million forms of communication, and I'm yet to find one that can articulate how moronic you fools are. Computer, power up the weapons and shield emitters. The doctor is in.
Super killed. Mega killed. Destroyer of worlds. Game over.
By the void, level 13 is truly the bane of my existence.
Carl, seriously? Do you realize crew members suffocated on the lower decks because you routed power from life support to play stupid video games?
Silence, imbecile. They gave their lives for the greater good. A scientific mind must stay active, or it would wither and wrinkle. I'll boil any ocean. I'll irradiate a whole litter of Nerlacian pups. I'll divide by 0 if I have to.
I told you he would cause trouble if you leave him to his own whim. Those implants can really make a man sick in the melon. Elsa, he's a liability if we keep him on board.
Please refrain from sneaking up on another living creature like that. Do you not realize the horror people have to endure every time they look at your face? You are fortunate I did not inadvertently dismember you in a panic-induced frenzy.
Everyone, shut up. To the bridge right now. Anyone not here in 30 seconds is getting vented into space. Well, I'm glad to see everyone was able to get up at the crack of noon to work towards sustaining our survival. Let me present to you all the garbage dump we'll be sifting through this afternoon. Yes, most of this is useless junk. Yes, this is utterly pathetic, but what choice do we have?
This ain't no way to treat these here metal mother. The ladies deserves better. Let me be snapping on something fresh.
He might not be the best candidate to operate the tractor prototype. Keep in mind that Carl built this thing, so it goes without saying that it's dangerous. I would hate to have come all this way just to have Mackenzie rip us apart like a rabbit chimp with Carl's untested toys. You know how those two can be.
I don't really care who does what, but we need to jump on this opportunity to expand the mothership. That core module will give us some elbow room, while those wings will give us some much-needed firepower. Let's get those modules fitted so we don't have to listen to each other breathe anymore.
Please pay close attention to the moving picture feature film show. You will be subjected to standardized testing following this demonstration.
What exactly do you think you're doing? Stop leaning on the overhead projection like a crutch. This isn't some archaic top-down space shooter we're playing here. This is real, brutal, killing-eating life we are talking about. Join the rest of us down here in reality.
Our omnilithium capacitor is now tapped out. I've devised a method to simply eject the spent cell, while fabricating a new one out of surrounding space dust. Do not ask me how it works, or why it makes sense. All that you need to know is that you will be unable to fire the ship's weapons while the new cell is being installed.
All right, I'm bringing the weapons online, if that is indeed what you want to call this garbage. Let's blast open some of these containers. Maybe we can find something to eat that won't make our hair fall out.
I have decided that it would be best if basic resource towing was left up to the ship's computer. These items are too fragile to be handled by Neanderthals. It brought me great pain to watch you struggle with the tractor beam.
Please assimilate and perform the following diagnostic tests on the kinetic shield system. Your life and my home may depend upon it. All modern space-capable engines come equipped with special regenerating boost capacitors. Please practice making rocket go fast now.
I have to say I'm impressed. You were all able to lace this thing back together without eating each other. The only thing that remains is to test the res drive. Mackenzie, start the pre-flight procedure.
From scotch and caviar to beers and tears. How is it that Jameson is the only other one with ambition to dig out of this dung heap? Just cook those bloody engines up and lay in a course for somewhere that isn't here. Please.
Welcome to the Super Ultrastar Map 9000. This holographic interface will allow you to scan all known galactic entities, plot mothership destinations, and communicate with other ships and starbases. Please practice untethered exploration now. Game saved. Area exhausted. Extracted.
All right, we're mobile. If you are all thoroughly satisfied, we can finally get on with it. We still have stickies out there, not to mention a laundry list of equipment we need before we can do anything about them. Time is of the essence, and we've wasted so much of it already.
As anxious as I am to find a so-called sticky, we have not encountered one for many cycles. The ship does not yet have a nacelle to stand on, therefore we need to scout more easy opportunities to exploit.
While I don't even trust my own office chair these days, let me be the first to admit that we can't survive out here without the help of others. We should consider trading goods and supplies with people, rather than trading insults and bullets. If a hostile confrontation cannot be avoided, then we should consider taking off. We don't have to fight every lemon that looks at us the wrong way.
Eyes in my head keep buzzing! Feels like smoke!
Apparently your intestines are so long that if you strung them up end to end, you'd probably die. These here metal mother doesn't like to loot the dead, but what needs do they got for intestines?
Pillaging successful. Pillaging successful. Cargo acquired. Resource acquired.
If we tune our warp frequency just right, we can sometimes pick up residual data transmissions bouncing around the old warp network. Though the gates are smashed beyond repair, some seem to be able to hang on to these low-density data packets, like a ghostly reminder of our past.
Once Earth's neon green oceans burned brighter than the visible sun, humanity collectively decided it was time to find a new home. Pushing the very limits of science, mankind molested the fabric of space-time to create artificial wormholes. These wormholes allow the transportation of matter across huge distances, though required a reliable exit connection. An automated starship was sent to the nearest neighboring star Alpha Centauri to construct one such connection. Following the 250-year journey, the first warp gate was established, and humanity quickly fled the rotting Earth to the new off-world colony. Pillaging successful. Awareness expanded.
Okay, I'm calling it. We need to shift our focus back to more pressing needs. Everyone on board is expected to understand that the mothership takes priority over everything, including our very lives. To that effect, Mother needs to be fed. If we can't find what she needs, we die along with her. If we cannot trade for what we need, we'll have to take it by force. As cruel as it is, that's just life.
I see fit to enlighten everyone that every action on board consumes something. Don't let these critical supplies run dry. I've gone to the effort of labeling all the viable extraction points, as well as indicating when they are ready for harvest. I have also color-coded human selfishness, so you're aware if any other faction claims ownership of these areas.
As much as I detest this hellborn excrement, we're stuck in a universe addicted to res. We are no different. Without it, the res drive will collapse, leaving us to limp along at subwarp. We'll be easy pickings for bandits, or anyone else looking to kick us while we are down.
Now that we are finally underway, let me remind you all that you cannot simply urinate in the corner, and proclaim you are the alpha meat husk. You are a minuscule fish in an otherwise colossal ocean of galactic proportions. Unless you wish to be dead before breakfast, read the advisory overlays I have painstakingly programmed for your survival. Do not just click past them and complain on the galactic forums that you did not get the memo. Ignorance will not be excused. Read or die.
Please familiarize yourself with the star map command functions. If you do not assimilate this information now, it will be waiting for you at dinner time.
Finding good, fresh, refined alloys isn't easy. Everyone wants them, but nobody is making them. Even if we don't immediately require scrap, it's good to keep some around for trade. Every space nugget in the void will accept it as currency.
I sense some underdeveloped crewmen require contextualization about how urgently we require these basic resources. More specifically, human resources. The ship requires an astronomical volume of periodic maintenance and repair. These tasks are far too dangerous to allow anyone with a shred of intellectual value to perform them. Therefore, we do not turn away many applicants. Remember, the bottom of the pyramid needs the most bricks.
Of course we need bodies to operate and maintain the ship's systems, but we also don't want to feed any more mouths than we must. Most of our food is fabricated from res. Balance is the word of the day here.
Now that we have some currency to spend, we should stock up on strike craft. We do not want to get overwhelmed when engaged by multiple targets. Plus it gives our enemies something else to shoot at instead of us.
Though I am completely disgusted by the idea of cooperating with others in a fashion that implies intellectual equality, it often cannot be avoided. Just try not to get extorted too severely. Though I am completely disgusted by the idea of cooperating with others.
In an effort to curb interplanetary diseases, just about all of our traded goods now have to go through this hands-off filtered interface. Nobody can stab you in the back, or shoot you in the face using an interface like this. Just configure the deal, and the autoloaders should take care of the rest.
These here bandit hives work like bees. They send out them worker ships, raiding for supplies. The nectar returns to make the hive mighty. If we go risk getting stung, we can nab some of that honey pot.
Not gonna